Hey, welcome. Thank you for tuning in to today's video. I'm really excited to film this video. I'm going to be making a beat in the 2000 XL, the MPC. This is a machine that I have not used. I think it's been over a year since I've last turned it on. Thankfully, it still works. But this is that one sampler that I promised myself that I would never sell. I would sell anything else, any of my other samplers, but this one, because I've bought it when I was like 15 years old. I sold it, bought it again, sold it, and now I bought it again. And I just told myself I would never sell it. Not because of value, of price, and it's this, and like, none of that. It just holds a very special place in my heart. This is what I started with. When I first got into beat making, the 2000 XL was just my dream sampler. And every time I see this machine, even though I don't touch it, it always inspires me because it brings me back when I first fell in love with this art that we do. Now, with that being said, let's jump right into it. I do have a sequence right here, and I already laid down some drums for us just for time's sake, because this does take a very long time to chop up and sequence samples. I'll let you hear what we have right here. We have this in sequence 1. And with the 2000 XL, I would really like using drum breaks. You go ahead and load up one shots, but drum breaks was just something that I enjoyed using because it kind of allowed me to move a little faster. And then later on, I could layer one shots on top of my drum breaks. It's very different on how my workflow in chopping is right here, and you will see with the MPC Live, I can chop or sample up to like 16 bars and just manually chop that in seconds. Right here, it's not like that. I like to just work with bars, like 4 bars, and then I'll look for another piece of the record and I'll sample those other 4 bars. It just takes a long time. So just hang out with me, grab yourself a cup of coffee, and let's have some fun. All right, so once we have that sample, I want to go ahead and save this. Saving and naming, it's kind of like the old school phones right here. You got to just, I don't do full names. I just go to SPL for sample and make sure that's saved right there. Hit enter so we can save that. I'm going to keep this, go into my trimmer. And right here in my trimmer, I want to go ahead and just select my downbeat. I go to my start, and let's go ahead and hear this downbeat. Open this up and let's see. Yeah, there you go. All right, we got the start of our downbeat, and now let's look for the end where we're going to chop it up to. I'm actually going to go right here to play X. I'm going to put after end just so we could listen to the ending of this selection that I have. Open this up and let's go ahead and see where we're at. Yeah, all right, so now I have my selection. I go to loop, go to edit, and select it, and hit do it. Now that I have that selected, go to edit, and let's go ahead and discard everything that we have. Now I have my selection from the start and end point. I already counted there's 8 beats within these 2 bars. I'm gonna go to Zzounds, and now that I have my perfect selection, I can go right here and open up Zzounds, and let's hit 8 slices or 8 zones. Hit do it. Now it just created 8 chops or 8 slices within this loop. I'm gonna actually trigger the zones and make sure we got everything on the downbeat. Like the snare's a little, it's clipping a bit. Actually, I'm gonna open this up. All right, cool. Yeah, nice. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I don't know if this happens to you, but whenever you hear a beat that you've done years ago, I don't know why, but I always remember exactly where I was, what I was doing, what I ate that day. When I listen to that beat, it brings me memories. So I don't know. It's just, I don't know why I'm saying that. This right here is bringing me back a lot of memories right now. All right, so we have 8 chops. I'm going to create a program with that. Go to edit, create a new program. I don't want to create a program. Actually, I'm going to hit no. I don't want to create a new program. I'm going to hit do it. Something weird happens. I already have my drums. It's kind of funky right here. If you go to your program, our drum 1, and then I have my drum 2. My drum 1 will contain my drums that I had chopped up already. So if I create a new program, it overwrites whatever I have in drum 1, which is kind of weird, and it kind of gets me on my nerves when that happens because then I have to redo my drums. So I just hit no. I'm going to go to drum bank 2. And right here, I'm going to select my samples that we chopped up. I'm actually going to start in pad 8, 7. This is how we will do it right here. Go to 5, 3, 2, and let's go to 1. So yes, that could take a very long time if you got like different banks and 16 pads. But here's the thing that I noticed with a machine like this, older MPC, you could sit down in front of your sampler for hours and then realize towards the ending of the beat that the beat sucks. And you have to turn off the sampler, and there's so much time that I invested when I was producing in the XL. And a lot of my beats were just horrible. And I was like, man, like I just spent all that time. But you know what? It was well worth it. It was more a therapy for me. And I had fun. Of course, I was much younger. I didn't have that many responsibilities. But that moment, I cherished those moments that I had with my sampler. Kind of a weird analogy, but I feel like the things that cost you more to build or to put together, at the end, the reward just tastes a lot better. All right, and now if I want to pitch this down minus 2 semitones, right? That doesn't work like that with this machine. There is no minus 2 semitones to the global program. You got to do everything one by one. So if I want to pitch this down, I select that pad and my tune. I'm going to go enter minus 12. Enter minus 12. And I got to do that to each and every one of them. Yeah, all right. So again, imagine if you had a 16, bank A, bank B. It'll take a very long time just to pitch up or down. And then you realize like, oh man, that doesn't sound good, pitch down. Let me pitch it back up. You got to go back and do that to each and every one of those samples. Now let's see how this sounds on top of the drum break. Actually, I'm going to go back to my program, and up here, I'm going to SPL1. I'm going to put that same sample up there, and let's bring this down minus 12 also. All right, so I kind of have an idea right here. I'm going to lay some down, see what we have. That sounds good. Now I'm going to go to sequence 1. I'm going to copy this and let's paste it into sequence 2. And in sequence 2, I'm going to just switch out that melody right there. Oh, that sounds cool. Now let me actually perfect sequence 1. It's a little choppy. All right, let's see what we have right here. Jeez. So even when I was using the 2000 XL daily, I was a lot more fluent with it. It still took me a very long time to make music. So when I jumped into the newer MPCs, at first, I was a little skeptic about it, and I just didn't feel right. They just looked like iPads to me, and I was like, oh, those ain't real samplers. But when I first tried one out, and seen how fast I was able to move, you know, a beat that I would do in an hour right here, it would take me on the newer MPCs like 15, 20 minutes. So to me, having a family, a daughter, just life in general, it just made sense to me, and I gravitated towards the newer MPCs. But I'm not gonna lie, there's so many beats on the newer MPC that I just throw away. I'm throwing away. Maybe it's because it's so fast to produce something, and I don't know, I don't connect with it as much as I would with the XL. Right now that I'm filming this video, it's just bringing me back so many memories, and I would remember being a lot younger and doing beats on the XL and just being so lost into this box right here and being focused, and nobody would go into the garage. There was no food for me. There was nothing. Like, I was just locked in the machine for the next 2 hours, 3 hours. I was so connected with music, and maybe that comes with how old this is and the software right here. Like you can see, it takes a very long time. So you best believe I was focused, and even to save a beat on the XL, it could take a while, you know? So it wasn't something that I would just, all right, let me see what I come up with right now, and if it's not good, I'm gonna just turn it off. No, I was working for my music to sound good, because I didn't want to just turn it off, because it took me about an hour to chop up and put drums. Like, it wasn't something that I was willing to give up as fast as now I do with the newer MPC. So that's kind of like the trade-off. Right now, I'm just filming this video, chopping some up. I'm going to turn off the cameras. I'm going to take off my headphones and listen to this. Hopefully it sounds decent. If it sounds like garbage, it's all good. I'm still gonna push out the video. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and being a part of this channel. I'm never gonna stop saying this, that I'm just grateful. I'm so thankful to be here, to have this community. Thank you so much for each and every one of you that always shows love in my videos. Just a very humbling moment in my life, doing this for years, and just to be where I'm at right now, hanging out with this community that I have right here. And hopefully I'm also sharing the love and inspiration right back to you guys. So thank you so much. I'm going to wrap it up right here. Peace. I'll catch y'all on our next video.